Welcome to our executive interview series at AITalks presented by AIScoop. I'm Wyatt Cash, and we're here with Derek Britton, Senior Vice President of Government for Seekr. Derek, thank you for joining us today.
Of course, thanks for having me.
One of the places I'd like to start is getting your perspective on what you've seen as some of the biggest challenges in implementing AI in government services since last year, 2024, if you will. And how is your organization approaching those challenges or helping your customers approach those challenges?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of challenges recently and just the overall kind of adoption with AI and getting agencies to feel comfortable with AI. So one of the biggest challenges that we see is trust in AI. So a lot of the foundational AI models are trained on popular data, not data that is vetted. So that's going to naturally introduce bias into those models. And then in addition to that, some organizations that host a lot of these commercial applications also put additional guardrails on those models. So we're essentially amplifying the bias on those models and AI applications. So we were really looking to overcome those challenges by providing the ability to deploy AI capabilities, tool sets within a government organization with their data, where all that information, workflows, models, all that is incorporated, and it maintains control of that specific organization and that agency. We're also overcoming bias by allowing an agency to add their data to the AI models where they can be tuned for specific purposes that are fit for purpose for specific tasks. So what that essentially does is it creates kind of some boundaries around how those AI models are operating. One other issue that we see is explainability. So decision makers, especially those within the defense and national security space, are really focused on understanding the outputs of those models and be able to trace that outcome all the way back through the training data that was used, all the way back to the original source of that data. So we're really focused on the understanding the lineage and the provenance of that data. So one of the other issues is AI portability. So many agencies already have their infrastructure identified. A lot of organizations are locked in to the cloud provider, the compute, the hardware they're using. We provide the ability to be able to take those applications and be able to move it to the infrastructure of choice. We need the ability to port AI applications to the agency based on where they're currently at and be able to capture that and move it between different environments to maintain that flexibility.
And then, as the current administration establishes its AI vision and priorities, how do you expect AI to evolve in government operations over the next 2, 3, or 4 years?
Yeah, so we've seen a couple interesting memorandums, executives order from the current administration. Back in January, there was an executive order that really was focused on removing barriers to American AI innovation. There's also been a couple policy memos recently that really further amplifies that message and be able to make sure that we have the ability to acquire new novel AI technologies and then be able to accelerate the use of those models. So what we see is going to be a fundamental shift in some of the structural changes. We're going to see the appointment of chief AI officers, which you've already seen some of that. We're going to see more open standards and publishing of AI models, use cases, initiatives where across agencies, organizations can look to try to not duplicate effort in a lot of their AI initiatives. So that is all going to lead to a couple changes in the way the government operates, I believe. The first thing it's going to do is the focus initially is going to be on simple AI models to do things such as generating documents, intelligent chatbots. And then very quickly, we're going to see that move from simple AI applications to multi-agentic workflows, right? Where the agents can be more autonomous and be able to understand the goals. It's going to be able to understand what data is needed. It can perform analysis. And then those agents can be able to talk to other AI agents or other systems or even humans in order to automate a lot of that decision making. And I think that the third thing that we're going to see is we're going to see an increase in the focus on human-machine teaming, right? So with all the semi-autonomous workflows that are going to be built here very, very shortly, we need to really focus in on where the human is going to be out in that decision cycle to make sure that the human is fully integrated into those processes because it's all about using the computer and the machine for tasks that it's good at, and then use human decision making and reasoning on those areas that are really critical for approval of what some of the AI capabilities are going to be able to make decisions on.
Really interesting. Well, Derek, Britton, thank you so much for joining us here at AI Talks and sharing some of your insights and perspective on the likely evolution of AI. We all don't know how it's all going to turn out, but it's going to be interesting whatever way it goes. So thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.